Ayubowan and good evening to a paddy field-like Royal College Sports Complex. It's week 2 of the Super Round. Royal College take on their arch rivals Trinity College in a very, very important fixture in the context of this year's Dialog Schools Rugby League Championship. The under-16 game has been done and dusted. Trinity College won that 10 points to nil, and the senior game is probably going to be just like what the under-16 game was, an affair where the forwards will be called into act, and you'll see as to why that's going to be the case when you see what this turf is like. Joining me today in the comm box, my co-commentator Abdullah Yusuf. Abdullah, pre-game jitters probably, but Royal Trinity always packs a punch.
Yes, good afternoon, Adib, and good afternoon to all our viewers. Absolutely, Adib. As far as Trinity are concerned, definitely very much in the running for that league title, coming in as defending champions, and you'd have to say they have been absolutely flawless this season thus far. From Royal's point of view, of course, pretty much an up and down season. I thought they did really well at the start of the season to get into that knockout final, but of course Trinity put in a really masterclass to outplay them completely. And Trinity from then on have just kicked on and just been unstoppable this season. So Royal will definitely have their work cut out today, and at home they will definitely want to put in a good performance.
29 degrees Celsius, that's not what is going to worry the boys too much. It's the fact that it's mostly cloudy up in the skies here on top of the Royal College Sports Complex, and the underfoot conditions, Abdullah, how is that going to play here at the Royal Complex? It's always difficult to decide how the wind is going to play because you're surrounded by a block of concrete, but how the underfoot conditions play is really going to determine what this game is going to be like.
Well, the wind seems pretty still here at the complex at the moment. I don't think the wind will be such a big will have such a big impact on the game, but the underfoot conditions, as you can see on your screens, it's pretty muddy, isn't it? And the teams will have to adjust accordingly. Trinity, we know, do like to play the ball, rather than spread the ball out wide, like to play in the outer channels, but they also have the forwards who can mix it up front as well. So I don't think they'll be too concerned about the conditions from Royal's point of view. Yes, I think they'd probably prefer these kind of conditions if they're going to take on this Trinity outfit, but at the same time they will also have to adjust to the conditions, because playing with a wet ball and with heavy underfoot conditions is never an easy task.
Well, these are the fixtures for this week and the result of the game that we had yesterday. A very close shave for Plate Championship favourites St. Joseph's College, who came back from behind to beat St. Anthony's 23 points to 20. 5 games today coming to you live on the Papare. Royal College taking on Trinity College, that is this game. Isipatana taking on St. Peter's, another cup game that is going to be worked off at Havelock Park. Mahanama College take on Lumbini College in a bowl championship fixture, and 2 plate fixtures, Thurston College and Sri Sumangala College up at Sugatadasa, and Ananda College taking on St. Thomas's College at the Ananda College grounds. Another important game in the context of the plate championship, and tomorrow a very, very important game in the context of this entire league, Abdullah. Wesley College taking on Zaira College, just the 2 unbeaten teams in Trinity and Zaira in this cup segment.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot to play for, for all these teams. As we reach today is the halfway stage of this Super Round. So as it stands, Trinity well on top, Zahira on equal number of points as well. So both those teams do end up victorious. It'll be a brilliant showdown next week as well. As we have a look at the highlights of last week's games, St. Anthony's versus Thurston. Thurston doing really well to go up to Kandy and getting the result. And of course this was another masterclass of a performance by the Trinitians, completely outplaying the Peterites. And of course another huge upset, Zahira, who have really proven to be giant killers this season, pulling off a big victory against the Peterites in Bambalapiti. And of course that result, Ananda comfortably brushing aside Sri Sumangala, which was also a bit of a surprise in itself. And of course Isipatana, brilliant second half performance to completely outplay Royal and secure the Milroy Fernando Trophy. And of course St. Joseph's at the beginning of the week completely dismantling the Thomians to win the Lady Jayatilaka Trophy. And of course Kingswood doing well to brush aside a really struggling Mahanama outfit this season. 29 points to 12. and Science College True getting a comfortable victory against the newcomers Lumbini to keep their hopes of clinching the board segment alive. 26 points to 10.
Well, every single segment is still very much alive, isn't it? The Cup Championship is up for grabs, Plate Championship is up for grabs, Bowl Championship is heating up, and so is the atmosphere here at the Royal College Sports Complex. We're in for an absolute thriller. The arch rivals take each other on for the second time in 2026. Don't go anywhere.
බෑග්වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස් ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස් ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
උස්වත්තු පවුලින් හඳුන්වා දෙන රස ඇබ්බැහිය චර්පි චිප්ස් රිදෙන්නේ දැනෙන රස.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
For passion, a competitive spirit. It's for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
වාජ්‍ය සේවක ඔබට විශේෂී දීමනාවක් ඕනෑම ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකක් මාස 12න් ටික ගෙවන්න ගන්න. අවම මූලික ගෙවීම රුපියල් 6550 සිට ඔබ ළඟම බාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි Dettol Icy Cool.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
කිචන් එක අපාස් කරන්නේ දැන් වයිෆුත් හැපි එකේ ඉන්නේ.
වයිෆ් හැපි කරන්න.
කිචන් එක අපාස් කරන්න.
උස්වත්තු පවුලින් හඳුන්වා දෙන රස ඇබ්බැහිය චර්පි චිප්ස් රිදෙන්නේ දැනෙන රස.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
Built for every season.
customizable, lightweight, made to last beautifully. Alumex fencing system, Sri Lanka's #1 and the most trusted aluminium brand.
When the world says no access,
or this is not for you.
And it can't be done. Just say, I can.
Pure, naturally healthy American water. Live more.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Welcome back to the Royal College Sports Complex. Both teams are done with their warm-ups. They're back into the sheds. Important warm-up for both teams. The conditions, no sun here at the Royal College Sports Complex as of now. And we did that walk just now, Sudarshana Paris and myself. We were wearing our decks and it was like ice skating, but hopefully when the boys put on their cleats and come out, it won't be as difficult for them.
Good evening, everyone. And yes, never mind the ice. It did feel like a little bit of butter at the corners, but going to be very interesting how the conditions will play up and how Royal will hope to try and play to their home conditions. The points table of Group 1A, when it finished, I don't think this is any more relevant, but Trinity managing to really glorious struggle through their group, all 5 games. Gathering up 30 points.
The group that Trinity College completely dominated. This is the second group, St. Peter's and Wesley were the teams that were to look out in this group, Abdullah. It was a group that went down to the last week, but the Peterites just sending a dagger through the hearts of the Wesleyites.
It's another really close game. In the very last moment, the Peterites managing to cross the line and get an important win and carry those as important points into the super round. So Wesley and St. Peter's cut above rest in, of course, Group A, Group 2A. And of course, the third group, of course, that was the group which drew so much of interest. Virtually had an upset every single week in the games contested in this group. And of course, the Royal and Zahira both ending up on 25 points, but it was Zahira who eventually carried the full points, including a bonus point into that second round as a result of beating Royal here at the sports complex. It was a really competitive group that saw upsets until the very last game, and dare say that St. Thomas's and Thurston will be strong contenders for that play title as well, as will Kingswood and Science in the board segment.
As the crowds gather in here at the Royal College Sports Complex, Trinity College have travelled in numbers and they've had to do a lot of travelling. Sudarshana, it's been 3 weeks on the trot for the Trinitians and another 3 weeks to come up, including the Bradby. And this set that you see on your screen will have to do the travelling as well.
Yeah, they will travel everywhere around the country, supporting these young lads who have really given them a lot to enjoy. This Trinity side has been impressive throughout the cup segment points table. Trinity and Zahira at the top with 12 points, collecting all maximum points. So today's game here and tomorrow's game where Wesley takes on Zahira is going to be important to see how this table will pan up. St. Peter's would have been very thankful that they took points into this segment after that first loss. Isipatana getting their Cup challenge back on track after that win against Royal. Will have to do very well this week as well. But Royal College now definitely praying for pride, Abdul, and will want to make sure that they keep themselves primed for that all-important shield.
Yeah, that's right. Really disappointing loss last week against Isipatana, so they will definitely look to bounce back against what you'd have to say arguably has been the best team of this season. And I say that with the fact that they've been the best season by a certain distance as well. But conditions here can prove to be a real leveler as we see the sun peeping out amongst the clouds, but the underground conditions yet very muggy, and it's going to be interesting to see how both teams adapt to these conditions, isn't it, Abid?
Callum Sandaruan will be a referee for today. He'll be assisted by Gihan Yatavara and Amila Rajakaruna. And this man on your screen has a huge job on his hands. It's to control a game that will be a bit difficult to control. It will be a stop-start affair. But it's going to be interesting to see how these teams play with these conditions, Abdullah. Do they kick? Do they keep it with the forwards? Or do they just go for goal and send it through the hands in the line?
Yes, we'll just see how Trinity have played this season. I think they have the confidence and the skill to spread the ball out wide. They've just the way that back line has gelled has been really impressive. Royal, on the other hand, will probably need to try and control the pace of the game. I don't think they'll want to play end-to-end rugby. Just try and attack initially along the inner channels and just create a bit of space out wide, because I don't think they have the players in their arsenal to run around this Trinity defense. But let's just see how both teams adapt to these conditions.
Royal College have made an interesting change to their starting lineup. There's going to no Disas Patirana in the starting lineup for them, so the captain drops to the bench. So they've come with a plan here, the Royalists. Will the plan pay off? The next 70 minutes will answer that question. Trinity, of course, going with quite an unchanged outfit except for a few positional shifts in the pack. And how that will pan out, we'll see in the next 70 minutes as well. But Gihan Yadavara, 10 seconds until kickoff. And here we go, Simak Shafiq kicks off the cup segment for the second week in the Super Round in the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2026. Royal College taking on Trinity for the second time this season. Trinity exiting their own half early and sending a kick down to today's number 8 for Royal College, Senuja Ranasinghe. Here's the vice captain, Fernando. Over the ball, Trinity, and that should be a penalty early doors. Nisit Kumarasinghe wins an early penalty for Trinity.
Good jackal work that time by the deputy skipper, Nisit Kumarasinghe, playing in that number 2 position, a hooker position, but then his flank instincts really coming through, and Trinity coming out with a very clear plan. They're not going to be messing around in their own half. Altaf looking for distance and getting it. Only just, but getting it.
Let's just have a look at that once again. It was a good carry, but I think it was the trackers who needed to probably react a little bit quicker. But good technique there by Kumarasinghe, getting into very good base and getting his hands on the ball.
I'll tell you, mauls and lineouts are going to be that much more important today as Achinta Jayasena has his first carry of the game. Nisit Kumarasinghe with his second intervention. And this time on the turf, it's Royal College that win the penalty. Good work by the centre. Nimsara Praveen wins Royal a penalty early doors.
Yes, well, Royal returning the favour. Brilliant work by the Royal outside centre. Getting into a very good position and winning the penalty from what looked a pretty dangerous position from which Trinity could have very well launched an attack. And a really good touch finder by Simak as well, driving play back into the Trinity half.
Well, how important is the line out going to be in this game, Sudarshana? It's a very wet outfield. And it's also going to be important that these teams get their defenses right in the mauls as well.
Absolutely. Line-outs are going to be crucial in a game like this, especially with this kind of conditions as well. You're going to make sure the restarts you try and dominate. These are set plays that you've practiced over and over and over again. So it's important for both the teams to try and execute them. Trinity putting pressure.
Good work at line-out time from Trinity this time. And the two Rexona line-outs they've won. And Royal College have knocked it out on the ground.
Interesting there because Trinity decided to put two jumpers, putting a lot of pressure on that Royal throw. And that's something that Trinity are going to try and do because they know Royal, when it comes to the line-out, if it's working fine, it's a difficult team to try and compare with.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Steady.
First Cavani scrum of the game in favor of Trinity College. Altaf off first phase ball spots a little gap in the Royal College defense. Minule Yadhege collects. Oh, beautiful vision from the Trinity skipper. And even better work from Yadhege, but was a bit too eager to get back up on his feet and is penalized for playing the ball on the turf.
Yes, once again, Trinity using that cross kick to good effect. Well, if you are going to bring your kicking game, these are the conditions you want to do it in. Isn't it, Abid? And we know the variety and the options Trinity have in that department. So it's an area where Royal will really need to keep an eye on. Just see how Yadhege just hung on that left touch line, realizing that there was going to be a cross kick. Ekanayaka was inside, so he needs to keep an eye and just ensure that he has that left flank covered.
First Rexona line out, good for Royal College. Simak hits Altaf Aman, who carries it forward for the first time in the game. Savista. But the Trinity defense from Jayasena is brilliant. Royal going back right now, but now they find a little space for one of the most dangerous runners for the boys from Reed Avenue, Dinuka Pereira. Simak hits a pot of forwards, but they're only going backwards here, Royal. So Fernando will have to clear his lines. And clears it as far as Shan Altaf, who puts the fend on and does well to stay in the field of play. But good work from Nimsara Praveen and the counter-ruck from Royal College. Temi Amarasinghe hit back hard once again. Achinta Jayasena has been working very hard in defense. This time, Royal hit back once again by Nahil Jaya. Carry forward from Anupa Vijayaratna. Now Fernando. Once again, Abdeen's defense stops Royal College. Amarasinghe with another carry. Here's Fernando to Savista. Fernando sends it to Ranasinghe, who drops it on the turf. Royal stringing a couple of phases there, Sudarshana, but unfortunately not able to penetrate the Trinity defense. The Trinity defense is coming up strong.
Any defensive coaches in the early exchanges of the game, especially given the fact that Trinity had to hold on, they had to make sure that they match up the numbers as Royal kept changing the point of attack and also wanted to go a little wide with their forward movement. It wasn't around the fringes that they were looking to attack, looking to stretch that Trinity defense. But Trinity holding forth so far.
Third Cavani scrum or third set piece that Trinity have kicked off first phase ball. And there's a late charge by the Royalists, so Trinity get a penalty where that ball bounces. Royal, something that has let them down so far, Abdullah, has been their discipline. The 14-man Royal were able to beat St. Thomas's, but against Isipatana they went down. Against Trinity they need to get their discipline up if they are going to challenge this Trinity team.
Yes, well, I don't think they'd want to try test that theory. Let's just have a look at that again. Absolutely unnecessary. There's really nothing in it, but you give the referee the opportunity to make the call, and he is going to make it. And if Royal yet haven't learned those lessons, well, deserve everything they get, isn't it? They don't want to be outnumbered on the ground. Just like I'm outnumbered here in the commentary box. Because if they do, it's going to be a long day in the park. And Shan Altaf makes no mistake. And Trinity, after 7 minutes, draw first blood. 3 points to 0.
Alumex penalty through for Shan Altaf. So reward for Trinity College for coming onto this part of the field and kicking smart early on. Now Royal need to play the game in the correct parts of the field. Kick deep. And Simak puts in a very contestable kick. Yadege collects, but the Royal defense is up on him. Inside the 22, so Trinity have the luxury of kicking it out. Despite having the luxury, Shan Altaf keeps it in the field of play and the ball bounces out into touch.
Yes, so that's something Royal will really need to keep an eye on. The Trinity kicking game. Really undone in that last encounter in that knockout final. Yatawara with the throw-in. Finds Bari. Royal setting up a maul. Trinity so far doing well to hold on. But Royal inching forward.
It's a maul that's moving forward, but moving forward slowly for Royal, and they pick it out of the set piece. This time Trinity over the ball once again. And another penalty. This time Sadish Veeravansa.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see how the next person to arrive to that rock goes on for that ball, showing good technique and also competing for that ball, not just holding it. And that's how Trinity are winning those penalties. Royal not looking to commit too many players when they go into contact. They are looking to clear that ruck with just one player. And the timing is not just getting right for the Royalist.
Well, the problem there, Sudarshana, was that all the players were committed to the maul, isn't it? So they just had one player tracking, and that was probably the smallest player on the field, Eka Naika, which you'd have to say was not the smartest thing to do.
Abdullah, these are rehearsed moves. So there needs to be a player who's clearing out that the ball carrier off the maul. Unfortunately for Royal, nobody home. And Trinity break away from a short set piece.
Kumara Singh carries, Trinity goes short side. This time Royal is offside. It's another penalty coming up for Trinity College. Abdul Malik's first intervention is a cross kick that was very effective in the knockout final, but we'll go back for another penalty. And off this one, what did Trinity do?
Free lease of life for Abdul Malik to try and get his leg in. Attempted that, Ambe Petier just couldn't get there. Early signs for Royal, concerning early signs for Royal, Abdullah, especially in your own half. If you are going to give away opportunity like this to Trinity to try and get accustomed to what they're working with, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Behind the ball, behind the ball. Number 6.
So on that occasion, what happened was all Royal 8 were committed into the maul. They thought that Trinity are just going to concentrate on a driving maul, but they just took Royal by surprise and broke off. And as the Royal defense was retreating, the referee did adjudicate that there were some lazy runners there and were penalized. And now Trinity with a really good attacking opportunity, just about 10 meters away from the goal line. You'd have to say that Royal's maul defense is going to be tested. But having said that, they have shortened the line out.
It's an area of the pitch that Royal College generally love to set their rolling maul up, but Trinity College set it up and they're driving forward. They need to control it here. The Trinity forwards get the first Amana Bank try. The referees will have a word, but Nahil Jaya comes up with it.
Now Nahil Jaya managing to get Trinity's first Amana Bank try. Great confidence booster for the Trinity forwards. Referee having a word with the Royal skipper. Yeah, side entry has been a problem for the Royalist. to the maul. Referee having a word about that. But Trinity going on to scoring has diffused the situation. 8 points to nil. Altaf this time strays it to the left of the post. 8 points to nil. 12 minutes in. Trinity looking comfortable.
Just look at that driving maul again. Royal did commit, but what Trinity did well is they just shifted the point from which they were driving, and Royal defense on the back foot, unable to stop that. So Trinity drawing first blood in terms of a try, getting their first Samana Bank try.
Royal will look to try and contest that aspect of the game, the restarts.
Forward, back, get back.
Shan Altaf sends it right down the middle of the pitch, so options for Simak, and pins his ears back and runs straight through the Trinity defense. Now Ishen Hiran, preferred at fullback today as well. Savista Fernando, stand-in skipper until Patirana comes on. Oh, lazy hands from Royal. Not running on to the ball, not wanting the ball, and Royal have knocked it on in centre field.
So not quite sure the forwards need to take the ball from such a distance.
Mark, hurry up, set. Mark.
So not running straight into the ball, running cross, making the pass. The target of the pass so much difficult for his scrum half. As a result of that, Trinity turning position over.
Bind. Sit.
It's a centre field Cavani scrum for Trinity College. Acres of space right behind the scrum for Trinity. And Altaf looks to exploit the corner. Simak comes on, clears it up for the Royalists. Jayasena has been in the wars for Trinity this season as Savista Fernando looks to negate a bit of the pressure. Altaf steps past two players, now running crossfield. Shan Altaf brushes past another. Here's the Trinity skipper, needs to link up. Does with Abdul Malik. Hamza Abdi in space. Oh, what a pass! Sadisha Weerawansa. Oh, what a beauty! Shan Altaf starts it off, and some brilliant linking up play. Sadisha Weerawansa is in for Trinity's second.
Oh, fabulous. Poetry in motion in muddy, wet conditions, mind you. Shan Altaf had the opportunity to give it out. No, he put on a little bit of a show while going down. Offloads. Take a look at this. 1, 2, third defender beaten. 4. Has 1 on 3. Takes the contact. Offloads. Malik to Hamza Abdin. Gives it to Sadisha Weerawansa. Inside ball, and Trinity like hot knife through butter.
Skipper who started all off puts the conversion. What a brilliant counter attack. Evading 4 runners. He was running cross, yes, but the good thing was he was running into space and did really well to link up with the rest of his team. So Royal are on notice. If they are kicking, they've got to ensure that their chasers are on point. And of course, the big Trinity inside centre, from that kind of distance, it was always going to be very difficult to stop him. And Shan Altaf making no mistake with the conversion. So 16 minutes into the game, Trinity already up 15 points to nil.
Looked like a bit of tap rugby from Royal College there. No one committing for the tackle.
Get back.
Altaf this time finds grass once again as Simak will look for the 50-22, but it's Abdul Malik who controls it with his legs and boots it forward. Everything happening the way Trinity wants it to happen. Abdul Malik gets the ball, keeps it in the field of play, but not in the hands of his own team.
Number 11,
as Royal win a penalty for not rolling away.
Some nifty footwork by the Trinity fly half. And eventually Royal just winning a penalty, not rolling away is the call.
Captain!
Simak finds a good touch. Just outside the 22.
Forwards la back වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එක තැන හිටන් ඉන්න එක කරන්න බෑ. එයාලා on side වෙනකම් back වෙන්න ඕන. ටීම් එක ඔක්කොම ගියා ටීම්. Number 3.
Very important communication there from the referee, wanting the Trinity forwards to start moving back when a kick is made in counter-attack. And if Trinity are going to kick, that's something the forwards will have to do.
Enforcing the DuPont law as it's done. Forwards need to make sure that they make an attempt to try and retreat when the kick is made. They can't just wait for a player from behind them to put them on side. Yet again, Trinity putting in the contest and really upsetting that Royal line out, which will hurt them. They were looking at kicking. Now they look at going to the corner and using the line out, and Trinity have managed to upset that twice.
Well, we saw a preface of what Royal would have wanted to do, and that would have maybe been to maul it through. But this time, Trinity to the middle of the field, but the chasers are up, so Simak has little to no option and has to take it into contact 50 meters away from the touchline. Amarasinghe, or Yatavara rather. This time the other prop forward, Nasir Hanifa.
Get back.
Now going on the short side through Ranasinghe, but met in another good tackle. This time Sadisha Weerawansa. Hit behind the gain line once again. Ritika Weeragama. Fernando to Ranasinghe, one of the most fierce ball carriers for Royal. There's a high tackle advantage coming for the Royalists, and we go back for the penalty. Nahil Chaya, the guilty party.
There's Royal creating some phases, but unable to get over that gain line. Just decision time. Simak just having a look glance at the post, but eventually deciding to go to touch. Finds a decent distance. So have a look at that once again.
Jaya just got Ranasinghe a bit too high on that occasion. Just 2 penalties on the trot from the Trinitians. This is an aspect of the game that has to work for Royal. The Rexona line out. Bari collects it at the front, and this time Royal set it up and have got a good shove on.
No.
Jai Sena comes through. Jai Sena comes through legally for sure. He's right through the middle there. Ground here. Simak looks for a willing runner and hits his center.
Tackle release.
It's Hiruka
Tackle
Jayadinu.
release.
Savista Fernando to Akire Yatavara, who's once again
Red
hit
number
back
6
hard by the
offside.
Trinitians. And now an offside penalty. Hamza Abdin caught offside. And this time the penalty for Royal has come a bit closer towards the try line.
Red number 6 offside.
Yes, Trinity a bit over eager in defense. Just rushing up. Royal deciding to go to the post. Just try and get those first points on the board. It's been all Trinity in this first 20 minutes of the game. Royal have had their fair share of possession, but haven't been able to make much inroads into that Trinity defense. Simak. Right under the post. Makes no mistake. So Royal are on the board, but here it's Trinity who are sitting pretty, 15 points to 3.
Yeah, it was important that Royal College got on the board. Simak Shafiq getting 3 points. They needed to try and get some points when they go back, because your visits to the opposition 20 are going to be limited in conditions like this, and you got to make sure that you take some points back, and that's exactly what Royal does. Building up a couple of phases, putting Trinity under pressure.
Behind the ball.
Hamza Abdin that time caught by the assistant referee. as being offside as Malik restarts.
Altaf Aman collects off the restart. Teams that have come into the opposition 22 so far in this game have gone back with points. Royal with one visit to Trinity's 22 came back with 3. Trinity with a couple of visits and have come back with 15 points. Here's Altaf. Brushes past the first defender once again and throws a basketball-like pass to Ammar Manzil. Oh. Ritika Weeragaman.
Get back, get back.
Jayasena. Royal not committing at the breakdown too much. If they lose the breakdown, they don't commit anyone. So they want to keep all 15 men up on their feet. Here's Malik to Altaf, who spots a little gap but closes down quickly. Good defense from Ishen Hiran. Now Jayasena runs it strong and hard into the Royal defense. Quick ball. Oh, that's good defense. Very good defense from Royal, forcing the turnover. Fernando will look to the boot and will look to find space. Minule Yabdege has to track back. Yabdege
release,
a good tackle. Brought to ground just outside the 22. Trinity carried out of their 22 now. Malik is back in the pocket.
Get back, force back. Get back.
Slams one right
number 4, get
down
back.
the center
Number
of the
4
field
back.
for Simak Shafiq. Now here's Dinuka Pereira. Kavaneka Naika brought into the game. Does well to stay in the field of play. There's an advantage coming for Royal College and looks like it might have been a side entry through the ruck. Fernando to Ekanaika. Ekanaika gets the ball. It was off the hands of Ambe Pitia. Puts it on the toe. There's a penalty coming up for the Royalists. It's going to be a bit of a conversation here.
Director, මට last incident එක දෙන්න. Last incident එක.
They're probably going to look at a couple of things here. Whether the ball was knocked on, was it a deliberate knock on, but the ball went to the hands of a Royalist.
නෑ ඒක ඕකේ ඒක බෑක්. ඒක බෑක්. ඔව් ඒක ගහන එක පිටිපස්සට යන්නේ. ඩෑෂ් නෑ ඒක පිටිපස්සට වදින්නේ. බෝල් එක ත්‍රෝ වෙන්නේ පිටිපස්සට. ඒක ඕකේ ඒක ඕකේ. පිටිපස්සට යන්නේ. ඒක ඕකේ. නෑ ඒ උනාට පිටිපස්සට ඕකේ නේ. ඕකේ. මගේ ඩිසිෂන් එක එතන ඉන්සිඩන්ට් එකක් නෑ. රයිට්? ඒක ලයින් අවුට් නෙමෙයි. කලින් ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් channel එකේ තියෙනවා.
So you go back for the penalty, nothing much happening there, Sudarshana, but Royal College 15 points to 3. They've got a string of penalties. They need to start approaching Trinity's half a bit more and try and get points, maybe in multiples of 3, but it has to come for the Royalists.
Yeah, absolutely. And they need to try and dominate the territorial game, isn't it, Tabi? They got to make sure that you territorially try and boss this one. Coming back to the initial penalty advantage. Simak with ball in hand will again want to try and get some meters on this one, because Royal need to try and penetrate Trinity's red zone, and that exactly is the end. Royal really loves to score their tries.
Simak, not much of an angle to work with, but does find a good 20 meters. So it's another line out. Royal deciding to shorten the line out, going with a 4-man option.
Yatawara hits Bari, and they've set
Hold,
the
hold,
rolling
hold,
ball up. This time they've got a good shove on, despite shortening the line out. And
Advantage, not
there's
10
a penalty
meters.
advantage coming. I think it's for the line not dropping back the 10 meters. Altaf Aman shrugs off the first defender. Fernando to Simak, who carries it cross field and runs into the Trinity wall.
Not 10
Going
meters.
back for a
Ball
penalty.
again, goal karna. 10 meters. Wait.
Not 10 meters in the line out, so Royal have another penalty. And they probably will want to try and set up another maul.
String of penalties, multiple defenses. Trinity really need to be careful as Royal inch their way closer. They will believe that there is a way back in this one.
Siatawara. Interesting to see whether Trinity will contest. No, they don't. Bari being taken line out. Royal will now try and drive, inching their way forward. Trinity doing really well to hold on.
When does the referee ask him to use it is the question, and Trinity pushes the Royal maul back. Now Savista Fernando forced to use it. Kavaneka Naika. Ball squirts into the hands of the win three-quarter. Now defense rushes up. Stolen. Nisit Kumarasinghe, second steal of the day. Ammar Manzil here needs to link up. Throws a huge pass out wide. Here we go. It's going to be a foot race. Yaina in the corner. Oh, that's a try. It's Yadhege. Oh, against the run of play. You just cannot nap for a second. Manzil ran away with the ball. Nisit Kumarasinghe with the turnover. And the pace of Minula Yadhege. Trinity have their third Amana Bank try in just 27 minutes.
Well, if that's going to be a play that is just going to take the win completely out of Royal sails, it was that one. Royal had a 5-meter line out, just trying to get a bit of momentum through the driving maul. Not doing so. Trinity's maul defense proving really effective. Royal forcing to spread the ball out wide. Stolen at the next breakdown, and they decide to launch a counter-attack. Most of Royal's three-quarters committed to that breakdown. And Yadhege showing far too much pace for the Royal cover defense to go under the post, and Shan Altaf making no mistake with the conversion, and just like that, Trinity have notched up their fourth Amana Bank try.
7 minutes.
Leading 33 points, 22 points to 3, as we have a look at that once again.
Fabulous work from Manzil. Long cut-out pass and the finishing touches. I remember another game that was played in muddy conditions like this, but Yadhege makes no one guess who's running with the ball in hands. Good, strong run by the winger. Trinity really taking control of the game.
Nisit Kumarasinghe in the first 28 minutes has really put his hand up in defense. 2 of those tries came off turnovers from the Trinity co-vice captain. Here's one of Royal's best players, Ranasinghe, carries hard into the Trinity defense. Over the ball once again. Jayasena loses the contest. Here's Amarasinghe. Ranasinghe once again carrying in this game so far. Now Simak has options, but the options are just completely cut short. Ammar Manzil flies up in defense. And Savista Fernando is forced to release the pressure.
Get back, number 16.
Rockets it down the pitch. That's a brilliant kick from the Trinity captain.
Offside.
And now there's going to be a bit of a talking. It's another offside.
Number
penalty.
16, back end.
So I think referee Sandruan did have a word with
captain.
the Trinity skipper a while ago, saying that his forwards are not retreating from the kick.
කවුරු තෙල්ලෙන්න වන්න බැක් වෙන්න ඉස්සරහට ඉඳලා දුවනවා. බැක් වෙන්න එක. ඔන් සයිඩ් වෙනකම් බැක් වෙන්න එක.
So very clear communication to the Trinity captain. Forwards have got to retreat. They cannot charge if they are in front of the kicker.
Offside. Scrum.
Oh, interesting. Royal opting for the scrum. Okay, all right. There's going to be a scrum for Royal. I think the question that the Royalists asked was, is there a scrum upfield for them? And referee Sandruan has given them a scrum of a penalty.
Crouch.
So Royal will have to take it.
Bind.
22-3.
Steady. Bind. Flankers.
To the Trinitians. Royal. To Simak, who hoists it up in the air once again. Malik. Oh, steps past the first defender. Now brings his left boot into the game and brings the center of the field into the game as well. Simak under pressure.
Get back.
And is forced to kick it into touch. Oh, that's a net gain for Trinity.
Massive net gain and some terrific work by the young first 5'8" Abdul Malik, dropping back and making sure that he is available to try and open the counter, putting on some very good footballing skills, maybe because the World Cup started yesterday, the FIFA Football World Cup, all live from North America. Hopefully these lads are not waiting up to watch that, because that will be definitely not enough sleep.
Royal spoil Trinity's line out. Fernando's box kick
Advantage
brought into
over.
the game once again. Now Malik
Get back.
doesn't think twice. And now the Trinity forwards are all just running back. They don't want to concede the penalty. Now ball to Ranasinghe. Simak. Space on the out for Kavan Ekanayaka. Penalty. Penalty all day of the week. That's through the sides. And Trinity for the penalties that they had been giving Sadisha Weerawansa will have to see in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think
Repeated in
made the decision thinking that the ball did jump out of that ruck, but there was no way he was going to enter that ruck from that side, Sadisha Weerawansa. And Trinity, this has been coming. They've had multiple offences. They've gone on to the bad books of the referee multiple times. And they need to make sure that they really capitalize on the opportunity, the Royalists.
The kick to touch was an interesting one. There was a knock on from Ammar Manzil. You have to allow for this, isn't it? The teams meet quite a few times. This is the second time, 2 more times coming up. Sudarshana Abdullah. This is just the second time that they meet.
Well, need to keep a bit in the bank as well, isn't it? You don't want to put everything out there. A little bit of aggression.
Abdullah, 4 times. I thought 2 was too much. 4 times in a season. The 2 teams maybe temperatures are going to go up. Both
Team
teams
manage
this
target players ලාට කියන්න referee එක ගයි right ඒක expect කරන්න කියන්න right ඒකට ආගු කරන්න එපා කියන්න මොනවාරි දෙයක් තියෙනවා ඔයා මට කතා කරන්න මේ තේමයි right manage කරගන්න මෙතන ඒකද manage කරගන්න.
Well, considering the way both teams have performed, I'm a bit surprised that you're complaining that Trinity will beat Royal 4 times this year, Sudarshana. But yes, a lot more rugby to be played between these two schools.
Ball picker ball allan metanin pain line එක cross කරේ එළිය ball picker ball allan
So
line out
I think there was a bit of a small incident that happened there. The ball was knocked on by the Trinity wing 3/4, and there was a ball picker outside the pitch from Royal that came from what the touch judge says, from outside, so the ball was spilled into touch. So
Wait. Time off.
nothing
Time
really
off.
on there. So Royal will have a line out.
Time on.
The ball is spilled into touch. Royal had the option of a scrum or a line out. Royal have picked the line out.
Ball.
Once again. Trinity's ball defense. So use it, Royal College. Use it or lose
Ball
it.
level.
Savista Fernando digs in for it. Simak to the center. Nimsara Praveen. Now Yatavara. Nisit Kumarasinghe loses his footing on that occasion, trying to poach the ball. Has to release the ball here. Royal need to string a couple of phases of attack, need to get some points before they go into the sheds. This is what Royal need. They need quick ball off the base. Trinity's defense needs to work overtime. All right, here we go. There's something that referee Sandharuwan does not like, and that is back chat. Shan Altaf takes it quickly. Trinity get the penalty. Equal numbers, 14 on 14. Ammar Manzil throws the pass in for his captain. Needs to link up. Basketball style. And basketball style it is. Rugby, you have to pass backwards. It's a forward pass.
The NBA finals are going on as well. But that time around, trying to be too cute to pass too many. Needed to take the contact.
2 minutes.
And then try and recycle. But Royal College, you got to argue whether you really need that, Abdullah, because it's the first 5-8 that you're losing for the next 10 minutes. And while you are attacking the opposition 22.
Well, got to understand the referee who is officiating and play accordingly. Sandharuwan. Obviously pretty sensitive to any comments made by any of the players. So Royal probably don't enjoy playing with that extra man. So they've decided to send one out themselves. So it's 14 against 14. Savista Fernando kicks downfield. Altaf with a chip ahead. That's really well collected by Yatavara.
Tackle.
Trinity's defense needs to be careful here. Savista Fernando spots some space in the Trinity back line. Udan Vijayakon comes to the rescue. Throws a pass to Yapteige, who only knows one way forward, and that is to run, and that's exactly what the Trinity win three-quarter is doing.
No, advantage.
Takes it out of danger. Advantage coming for Trinity. So they'll kick this ball away. Well, it's a knock-on advantage coming for Trinity. Ball loose. Anyone's ball to take. Kevin Jayasena. That should be a penalty. Or probably would have been a penalty a bit earlier, but Evin Jayasena takes it once again. Oh, Jayasena, 10 meters away from the line. Trinity clear the rock quickly. Vijayakon. Oh, short side. Oh, it's all too easy. Just watch Abdul Malik's stroll over. And that's the fourth Amana Bank try and the bonus point.
Well, he does not roll over. He's a good first 5-8. Doesn't want to get his jersey too unclean, making it look so very easy. Abdul Malik has been fabulous. But that penalty to the two Trinitians really put in pressure. Did they support their body weight in these wet conditions? You got to ask. Take a look at this. Chase was on with Malik. And on the outside, Jayasena there. Jayasena goes down, gets back up. And the pressure coming in from Machinta Jayasena. The two Jayasena duo making it work. Kevin Jayasena takes it quickly. Trinity wanting to play with urgency. Fourth Amana Bank try and the bonus point in the bag.
The conversion successful as well. Goal conversion through. And what a half for Trinity College.
Royal, captain.
Well, we keep this on screen. The referee wants to have a conversation with the two captains.
Right? එක කතා කරන්න බා කියලා මම දකින්න මම දෙනවා ඒක. ඔයාලා කියන්න එපා. right? දෙපැත්තෙත් එමෙ. හරි. දෙපැත්තම බලන්න.
An important piece of advice for both captains. No back chat at all.
Huh?
will be tolerated. Royal lost a man and Royal conceded a try, and Royal have conceded 4 tries in this half, and this Trinity juggernaut just seems to be unstoppable. First 35 minutes, advantage Trinity. And the scoreline reads 29 points to 3. Royal will have to pull their socks up and pull their socks up fast.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
ගෙවන් යන්න ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න ලොකු පොඩි හැම ෆෝන්ස් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න හොඳම ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න ළඟම ආබාන්ස් එකට යන්න
මාස 24ක් දක්වා ගෙවීමේ පහසුකම් සමගින් මාසික වාරකයේ රුපියල් 4999යි. අබාන්ස් ජාතියේ පරිගණක සැපයුම්කරු.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
Perfectly. Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
Let's KFC. Making moments special. Most value for money from KFC.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි සැරටම එන්ජොයි කරන්න පාටි එකට ගෝ
Night Go Pocket Perfume Youth එකට go එකක්.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් Swiss Tech නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. Swiss Tech ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවුසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence. Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මා ගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස්ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස්ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසිකූල්. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසිකූල්. අවුවත් එක්ක ඇති වෙන දාඩිය නිසා හැදෙන විෂ බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබේ ඇඟ 3 ගුණයකින් කූල් කරයි.
Perfectly Swisstech Aluminium. නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සාතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swisstech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun tamai.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom Perfumed Body Spray.
Welcome back to the Royal College Sports Complex. It has been a half for the Royal College team that they will want to forget. 35 minutes that they will not want to watch the replay of. And it was all Trinity in the first half. It looked like one team, the team that was visiting, playing rugby union, and the other team playing a bit of tap rugby. We'll have a look at the highlights of the first half. Abdullah Yusuf not too happy in the combox.
That's it, misconduct, ne?
Well, difficult to be happy, isn't it, Abid, when your team's being really rampage at home. Trinity scoring off a maul for their first try, just 7 minutes into the game. That was through Nahil Jaya, and then this counter. Absolute brilliant stuff from Shan Altaf. 1, 2, 3, gets away from the fourth and offloads. Beautiful handling work by Hamza, who gives it to Sadish Veeravansa. 12 minutes on, Trinity led, 16 minutes on rather, Trinity led 15 points in all, with the conversion going through as well. Royals solitary points coming through the penalty, but this one will hurt. Nesit Kumar Singh with a jackal, a royal maul, but Trinity scored. And that was through Minuloya Dehege, who is really enjoying himself. Missed out couple of encounters due to injury, but then has come out absolutely brilliantly. Udan Vichekon bringing his left boot. Contestable kick. Trinity put in pressure. Even Jayasena arrives there, goes for the jackal, and the penalty in favor of Trinity. Even takes it quickly. Trinity want to play the game at pace. And then Abdul Malik being the beneficiary of that. There was calls for him to roll over, but he says, no, I'll just dot it down. Trinity 29 points to 3. dominant first half.
That last little stroll from Abdul Malik just encapsulated the first half, isn't it, Abdullah? Just a walk in the park so far for Trinity, but Royal have a man on the bench that they may have put there for a reason. This is Patirana to come on. Can that boy spark something for Royal College? And can Royal change their fortunes in the second 35?
Well, a lot will need to be changed the way this Trinity outfit are playing. Just, Trinity, especially the way they have counter-attacked, has been brilliant. Shan Altaf showing tremendous amount of strength. Evading tacklers, just his ability to identify space and then just offload at the correct time, creating space for his supporting players as well, has been brilliant to watch today. And Royal will definitely need to tighten things up. If not, could be a long second half for the hosts.
Going to be interesting, isn't it? Because especially because of the fact that we've spoken about how teams haven't kicked enough to Trinity, and that time Abdul Malik not getting the restart right. We've spoken about how teams haven't kicked enough to Trinity, but when you do kick to Trinity, you got to make sure that you put your chasers on and your defensive line is disciplined coming up, and that's when you can put pressure on them. But if you let them run like that, especially dangerous men like Shan Altaf, Abdul Malik or Minla Yaddehige, you're going to get hurt, and that's what Royal have learnt the hard way.
Royal were hurt 3 times in the first half through counter-attack tries. Just knowing when to kick, where to kick, that's what has cut Trinity above the rest. Patirana comes on at half-time and needs to spark something for his team, the skipper. Sabista Fernando has always had to kick on back football. Need to change his fortunes. Both yellow cards still on for Royal and Trinity. Shan Altaf, will just counter-attack all day of the week. Finds Hamza Abdin.
Get back.
Royal need to kick mindfully. And if they are to kick, like Sudarshana said, they need to get their chasers up, or else don't kick, or you're just going to invite Trinity into loads of space. Here's a replacement on for Royal College. Oh, dangerous. Yaddehige collects. Mirula Yaddehige goes over for the 5th Amana Bank try. Oh, that was just given on a platter. And Royal are just being blown away completely here at Jurassic Park. Or is it Jurassic Park anymore?
Well, regardless of the park, just have to wonder of the mindset of the Royal team, and that's the most worrying part of that particular piece of play. I think it was Havergay who has just come onto the field, was in 2 minds, not knowing what to do. Just got to play the percentages in these conditions. It's not the place where you want to just be making those passes. It was a forward pass right into Yaddehige, who just controlled it very well with his foot. Collected the ball and waltzed over for his second try. I have to say, not the start Royal would have wanted by a long distance. And Altaf with the conversion attempt curls it in, and it's over. So it's very dangerous times here for Royal. They just gifted a couple of tries which has just swung the momentum their way. And Yaddehige, wonderful control in these wet conditions. Collect the ball and go over for his second try, and what a brilliant conversion by the Trinity skipper.
Well, everything going right for Trinity. Sudarshana, what do Royal do here? They have to kick, and kick mindfully, and they need to exit their own half. Abdul Malik finds grass once again. Where's the Royal back 3? Patirana. And it's the backs that come in to get him. Oh, that's a high shot. That's a high shot from Abdul Malik. Not high tackle. The referee is fine with it. Oh, now he thinks it's a high tackle. High shot. Now Fernando kicks, but will come back for the penalty. It's not Abdul Malik. It's the number 7. It's Nisit Kumarasinghe.
That the call came from the assistant referee. But yet again, Royal not prepared, because remember, they've lost their first 5-8. So in place of Simak Shafi, in comes Hevage. So they have had to shift one of their back three to try and join that front defensive line. This Aspatirana has come onto the field. Royal need to try and rally around their skipper. He's trying to create something here. I think that's what would have been deemed the high shot. Abdul Malik with a seat belt grab.
Here's Yatavara. Movement in the line out from Royal College. Trinity hand taps it Yain.
Scrum, there ball.
It's a knock on from Trinity, so scrum for Royal College.
Yeah, maybe lost forward, but Trinity will be happy at the fact that they did put two men up. Even in that four-man line out, looking to contest, not looking to give Royal any easy ball coming out. 36 points to 3. Trinity scoring first in the second half as well. Unchanged from the starting 15. Will want to make sure that they keep Royal under pressure. They haven't let Royal advance through their defensive line.
Trinity down a man as well. 14 plays 14. Savista Fernando to Patirana, who's tackled on his bootlaces by Ammar Manzil, who's been brilliant in defense for Trinity. Absolutely brilliant. Ritika Veragama caught offside, so Royal have free play here. They need to try and get something going. Space on the out for Hevage. Cuts back into the field of play, the replacement. Amar Singh.
Number 7, 16 offside.
Two players from Trinity deemed offside. This is in center field for the Royalists.
Time off.
Seems like Trinity is into Sara. He's been taken off, doesn't look too good. Looks like his wrist, around his wrist, or is that the shoulder? Seems to be in a bit of pain, and in comes Akash Fernando, another seasoned campaigner. Comes straight into a line out.
It's an important line out here. Royal need to get some points on the board in the second half.
Time off. Time on.
Bari with a clean take. Royal trying to get some forward movement from this maul, but
collapse.
Advantage coming for Royal and a penalty for collapsing. An interesting replay, that one, but Royal have...
Well, if there was an offense, what was advantage for? Because that maul was not moving. Absolutely, it wasn't going anywhere. Trinity will want to make sure that they just control this. Royal looking to set up. They'll want at least one score.
Well, if the score is going to come, it's going to be through a maul. Oh, referee in the way. Referee in the way that time. And that would have been a try, this Aspatirana. It was well set for Royal College, but nothing working. The stars also not aligning for Royal.
Nothing working for Royal, isn't it? Referee Callum had to be in the middle. But opportunity for this Aspatirana. This is a space that he likes to attack from. Going to be a very interesting battle between this Aspatirana, Hamza Abdin, and Achinta Jayasen if he decides to go on the open side. And here he goes. Gets away from Hamza.
Gets away from Hamza but runs into the back. Spatirana. Senuja Rana Singh on the second phase. Something that Royal have done frequently. Held up Senuja Rana Singh. And will he be held up until he goes over the line?
On the line.
Somehow gets the ball released there. Senuja Ranasinghe, Royal College over the line. No try. No try for Royal. No cigar on that occasion.
Inside ball, in goal ball.
And it will be a goal line dropout.
Yes, it just sensed that the body position of the Royal forwards was just a little bit too upright from that distance. The Trinity defense managing to go lower and get under the ball carrier. And did really well to thwart that foray by Royal. And now Altaf with a goal line dropout.
Simak Shafiq is back on the park for Royal College. As the ball rolls out into touch once again. What do they do from here, Sudarshana? Need to maybe go to the maul, isn't it?
You all need to set it up. They really need to set it up, and they've managed to get a couple of penalties as well. Trinitians, on the other hand, will cry foul that once is not being called when the maul doesn't move. So it's going to be very interesting. Trinity looking to try and contest.
Play on, play on.
Royal bring it down on their own, so it's play on.
Okay.
That's right through there from Hamza Abdin. Brilliant stuff from the Trinity flanker. And Royal might just lose this ball here because Trinity have made it unplayable. Or they want it back. Well, that's how you defend the ball. Come right through the gate. Udan Vijayakon finds space at the back of the Royal College defense. Now little dart from Dinuka Pereira, but not before the Trinity defense comes up on him. Simak on the corner. With Jayadinu, who has little to no space and steps into touch. We go from set piece to set piece, but this time it's going to be a Trinity feed in.
Yes, Royal just trying to launch an attack from their own half. Just wondering whether Royal will be better when there is a kick received towards them, that they use the boot a bit better. Just don't think they have the players in the arsenal to launch counter-attacks. But some brilliant work in the maul on that occasion by the Trinitians.
10 back, 10 meter back.
Coming right through the middle.
Yain collects off the line out. Here's Kumarasinghe, who has been in the battles for Trinity. Backdoor from the Trinity backs. Malik comes around. Here's space for Minule Yattehige. Shrugs past the first Royal defender. Oh, slick stuff from the Trinity backline. Pass. So somehow the ball is sticking in the hands of every single Trinitian. Altaf makes a half break. Akash Fernando gets his first carry of the game after coming on. Oh, that's the first wayward pass in that phase of play. And you have to say that was bound to happen on some occasion. Not always does luck favor you.
But it just shows how Trinity, once they get going, absolute treat to watch. Sean Altaf's ability to just break that first line of defense. Just how he managed to get through those two defenders and then offload for good measure. Royal, you'd have to say, pretty fortunate that that pass did not go to hand.
The idea was right. They were looking to try and exploit that outside channel straight away because it was open, but nobody committed to that ball. One of the forwards needed to run on to that, but Royal with a chance to try and exit, but they opt to run straight at the Trinity defense. They have had trouble penetrating.
They've also had trouble exiting their own half, Sudarshana. And they need to do that sooner rather than later.
Bind.
Player not bound from Royal College. Udan Vijayakon takes it quickly. Akash Fernando. That's the 6th Amara Bank try. Confirmation of the try. And boy, do these Trinitians want to score tries. Akash Fernando just comes on and goes over to score an Amana Bank try. Royal were not bound in that ruck, and that's why the ball was let out. Trinity could take the ball. Udan Vijayakon with the quick tap found a willing runner. It was Akash Fernando, and with his long legs, no one is going to stop him.
Yes, once again, Trinity just exploiting the situation. Royal just wondering why the penalty was being given against them. And Fernando reacting in an instant and going over for another try. Altaf with the conversion, makes no mistake, and Trinity just like that into the 40s. It's 43 points to 3. And Royal definitely looking down the barrel from this situation. Just have a look at that once again.
Take a look at this. Not bound. There's a lot of chatter. And ball coming out. Nisit Kumarasinghe yet again knows exactly. Udan Vijay takes it quickly. And Akash Fernando with a free run and a dive as well. And Sean Altaf adding in the extras. Trinity Juggernaut keeps rolling here at the complex. As a substitution is being made, Ritika Bergamer's Dane being called, Misela Pereira, beg your pardon, Shamas Rodrigo comes onto the field. Royal with the restart.
$40 points, the gap that Royal need to bridge if they are to win this game.
Back.
Oh, if Trinity are not finding grass, Royal are allowing them to find the grass. Simak Shafiq letting that ball bounce and allowing the Trinity defense to come up. Slow ball for the Royalists. Yatavaras carries strongly. Fernando goes to the box kick once again, and man, have Trinity been really effective on the corner channels. Abdul Malik seems to have been taken out there. Cries from the spectators. But 40 points, Sudarshana. That's a lot of points that Royal College are going to have to bridge.
I think rather than bridging Abid, what Royal are going to be focused on is the fact that this is not their final essay against this Trinity outfit. So psychologically, they will want to make sure that they are in the fight up until the final whistle. They'll want to make sure that they are up for the game, because there are two very important games that are coming up for Royal, and that is absolutely the only chance for them to salvage this season, and against a Trinity outfit that currently looks like they are on autopilot.
Advantage for Royal College. 20 minutes remaining in this game.
Use it.
Charge down, but there's a penalty coming up. Well, heart in the mouth stuff for Royal College. If the penalty was not there, that would have been another try. But for the Royalists, Abdullah, they need to spring something out of the ordinary. Where do they go to? Do they go to their pack? Do they go to their line? Well, as an analyst, to be very honest, I really don't have an option.
Yes, the way the Trinity are playing. We'll get back to that again. What a brilliant take by Altaf. Launching another counter-attack. Royal defense in 6ers and 7s.
From outside the line. Oh, that's a penalty. Playing the ball on the ground. Udan Vijay takes it quickly. Achinda Jayasena carries it hard into the Royal defense. Vijay to the short side. Space on the out for Minule Yadehige, who steps back in. Altaf Aman over the ball.
15, high tackle.
High tackle advantage coming for Trinity. Oh, it's the strength. Achinda Jayasena bumps off two of Royal's best defenders. Ball available for Vijay Kohn. Goes digging for it. Here's Malik to Altaf. Altaf options on the out. Oh, they can all play. They can all score. And this time on the left flank, it's Dimata Bepidia with the Amana Bank try.
Dimata Bepidia went in for a brace, back to back at Sugatadas Stadium. But this is the Royal Complex. That corner has seen Royal jubilation, but it's all red, gold, blue here. At the Reed Avenue, Trinity really putting in a big shift. If we can take a look at that penalty that was awarded, The Royal Jackler had all the right to the ball, but had both his knees on the ground, which is why referee Sandaruan awarded the penalty. There was a high shot advantage coming through in the last phase as well. But how about Shan Altaf's awareness? Starts from the outside, catches the ball and lands inside. You can't tap the ball and land inside. You got to catch the ball and land inside. Altaf claimed a similar one, Abid. We were at Police Park and against DS. And that shows you that he's updated himself and he wants to try and make sure that he exploits those rules. Fabulous work by the Trinity skipper. And this is what you want from your top players, and it keep improving, which pushes the entire team to keep improving.
Well, that's a law that he is known for a while, Sudarshan. I've been playing with him, and that's something that he taught me as well. You catch the ball from outside, jump in. Oh, dangerous. Hamza Abdin comes down and held on there, Altaf Aman, but
holding on.
Hamza Abdin came down dangerously. He had to think of his life before releasing that ball.
Yes, I think the referee should have penalized that Trinity lifter, really, putting his own teammate in danger, but nonetheless, no harm done. It's Royal. Another option. Rather, they'll have a look at another option than the driving maul, because Trinity's maul defense today has been really good. Yatavara with the throw-in. Trinity not going to contest.
15 minutes to go. 15 times 3 is what Royal need to score to bridge this gap. 45 points as they start rumbling forward. Bring it down on their own account. Here's Simak, who spots a little gap but smashed. Sadisha Weerawansa. Savista Fernando looks for willing runners.
Advantage. Number 8, offside. Number 8.
Achinta Jayasena caught offside. Here's Akira Yatavara to Disas Patirana. Hamza Abdin around the knees, and there's a penalty coming up for Royal College. Savista Fernando takes it quickly.
10 meters.
Another advantage. Savista Fernando gives it to Nimsara Praveen. Picked up quickly by Royal College. They need to finish what they've started here. 48 points to 3 is not a good look. 48 points to 8 is a better look.
On the line, on the line, on the line.
Just short of the line, Royal. Senuja Ranasinghe. This time Royal get the Amana Bank try. I think it's Mudun Kotua who has scored for Royal College. And finally, Abdullah, they break the deadlock. But this is just far too late for Royal. But it's their forwards that come to the act.
Yes, good work by Mudun Kotua. Did well to keep his body position low and just go over. So Royal in the 55th minute of the game get their first score. Simak with the conversion attempt. Makes no mistake. So Royal reach double figures. Did have to say 48 points to 10. Just scant consolation for Royal. Trinity just have been absolutely on the rampage today. Just have a look at that once again.
I think what they did right there, Abdullah, was speeding the ball up. They caught the Trinity defense snapping on quite a few occasions, Sudarshana. And Altaf Aman has been brilliant for Royal, and they're picking the ball up fast. I think that's something that Royal need to do a bit more often. That's where Trinity have been found wanting to at least some extent. But Sudarshana, Royal, it's been a very tough game for them, and this try will give them at least some kind of confidence.
Oh, absolutely. They will want to make sure that they at least try and negotiate this last quarter well. Trinity have taken off Shan Altaf, with Mukshid coming in to that fullback position. Going to be an interesting outing for this young lad who has shown some real good promise for the Trinitians. Royal, like you mentioned, need to try and build up on the smaller things, isn't it? They need to make sure that they get the little things right as a good high-hanging box kick goes up by Royal College.
Navin Lienage, the scrum half that has come on for the vice captain Savista Fernando. That's his day. Now he has space on the out for, well done from Kavane Kanaika there. Good stuff from the win three-quarter. Patirana bumps past the first and the second and the third. Good strong carry from the Royal skipper. Now to the boot. This is more like it from Royal, finding space. But Abdul Malik just seems to have so much of time on his hands. Kavane Kanaika can't contest for that ball. Jai Sena to the 50. Now Vijay Kohn thumps it long and hard this time. It's a very well placed kick from Vijay Kohn. And Trinity are going to get a line out right in front of the Royal coaching box. And Banu Kanana, Karan Asmin Fajruddin have a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah, and that's exactly how you kick, isn't it, Abid? You kick to a plan, try and exploit the space that's opening up. Kick to what's in front of you.
Number 3 off, number 3.
Abdul Malik's kick collected by Ekanaika, trying to run around. Yadehege didn't have the pace, but Royal are doing something very well. They're putting the numbers mismatch as well, trying to use Disas Patirana on the outside channel against the Trinitians to suck up the defense. But the continuity is the problem for Royal. They need to make sure that they find spaces and find players who can crowd those spaces.
Good steal by Bare. Been good at line out time today for Royal, but unfortunately in the process has knocked it forward or tapped it forward. So it will be a scrum for the Trinitians just outside the 22.
Now a scrum in this channel.
Ready.
Abid, we've seen Trinity exploiting this space that they are presented with twice with the same move with two variations. It's not the same conditions. Will we see a third roll of the dice by the Trinitians?
Well, I'll hush and I'll let the Trinity backs do the talking here. We'll see what they go for. Faisal, good defense from Royal College. Trinity go with the same move, but Royal this time counter it in the corner. Here's Evin Jayasena who spills the ball. Might have been a try there. Kavane Kanaika caught high. That's going to be a penalty for a high shot.
So for a change, that was good defense by Royal. They cut off whatever angles Trinity were trying to work with. An outside-in defense.
Well, difference in that execution.
Come
back to that after the referee's chat.
Recommendation. Captain.
Something that the referee has spotted. I think it's Jayasena who, on his way back, might have
high tackle. Contact point and neck.
High tackle, yellow card. Communication from assistant referee to referee was one. From referee to player was another. It was a knee that the assistant referee saw, but Evin Jayasena sees a yellow card. Trinity will play with 14 men for the rest of the game. As Simak launches it into the Sky Pavilion. Here's a replay of it. Jayasena dropped the ball forward.
The earlier move as well, Abid, I think the difference in the execution was the fact that Mukshid running onto the ball against Shan Altaf running off to the ball, isn't it? Mukshid, his first touch, took a half a second more to make the decision, and Royal really rushing up on him. Very good work by the Royal defense. Now need to try and get into the Trinity half.
Knock forward.
Trinity losing that ball forward, advantage for Royal.
Simak with a little kick. With a little kick that is covered well by Kevin Virakon. Well, there's a knock on. I think it's at the line out that we've come back to, but Royal kick possession away. Interesting call there. So we come back for the knock on off the line out from Hamza Abdin.
Ready? Approach. Bind.
Interesting call that, isn't it, Abid? Royal did kick position away from that knock forward advantage after a couple of phases. And normally you'd conclude that the advantage is over the moment you kick position away from a knock-on advantage. Trinity having to make up the number, Royal rather having to make up the number 7 against 7. Extra man for Royal in their backs.
Right now the score doesn't look like the sport we're playing. It's 48 all out, 48 for 10. Royal need to salvage a score to change the score sheet. Dinuka Pereira is the man you want ball in hand if you are to get a score. Breaks past the first tackle, but Sadisha Weerawansa wrestles him, keeps him up off the turf, but somehow gets his way to the ground. Apologies to that boy on your screen, the try scorer, Senut Karunawansa, in the scrum cap in the number 20 jumper. Royal with a little bit of space on the out now. Trying to stretch the Trinity defense. Kick from the scrum off for absolutely no chaser from Royal College as Abdul Malik kicks and kicks high into the hands of Akire Adavara, who didn't expect the chase as well. And that has been the difference between the two teams as well. Trinity has kicked, Trinity has chased. Royal has kicked, Royal has not chased. Good defense around the fringes from Bilal Nazir. Lienage goes digging for it to Simak, who hoists this one up in the air. Oudan Vijayakon collects it. Trinity come away with the ball. Royal not contesting up in the air. Trinity's scrum half is on the turf, so the forwards will have to do a bit of dirty work here. Abdul Malik. There's no one at the back for Royal. Well, if the turf wasn't this muddy, it might have gone out into touch and been a 50-22. Kavane Kanayaka. What a fend from the wing three-quarter, and not a great kick. Wrong option. Wrong option from the wing three-quarter. Did everything right up until that kick.
Yeah, Kanayaka, very dangerous lad. Absolutely dangerous lad with ball in hand, especially on the counter as well. Managing to get around Trinity's Mukshit. Doesn't seem to be moving very easily. Maybe getting accustomed to the conditions here. But did look like he was running onto that ball, struggling. But Ekanayaka making the break, needed to get the ball to travel inside. Didn't get the connection that he was looking for. Trinity now with a line out at the 40-meter mark.
Trinity hit one of the gazillion options in the line out. Is Prativ Yain. Ball is stationary, so Trinity will have to dig it out here. Weerawansa. Here it is for Vijayakon to Nahil Jaya, who wriggles his way to the ground. Royal over the ball. Good work. Very good work there from Royal College. On the turf, they take it quickly. They take it quickly and they kick possession away. But they need to get their chasers up here. And they have Royal College. Madhuranga de Silva gets away from the first tackle and sends the ball out to Kevin Virakon. Virakon now on a difficult turf to run on. Gets his team past the 50. And Royal on the turf once again. And that time it just might be Altaf Aman.
Repeated in Fishman. Number 13, holding on.
Repeated infringement, yellow card for holding on. That's the first. Trinity will play with 13 men for the rest of the game as Virakon sees yellow for arguably the first time in the history of rugby.
Yeah, repeated penalty advantage, repeated offside advantage. I am accustomed to repeated holding on advantage.
Well, just if it makes you feel better, Sudarshan and Adip, that's not the first time I've seen it. This is the second. Remember, while in commentary, I've seen that call before. I just cannot understand how you can give a yellow card to a player for holding on. But just if it makes you feel any way, it's not the first time it has happened.
It wasn't cynical as well. There was no clear opportunity for Royal to try and create a play. Trinity managing to put pressure on that maul.
Well, Trinity have lost 2 men. Is that the chance for Royal to score? 15-man Royal versus 15-man Trinity. They couldn't score. Through the sides once again. That's an infringement that Trinity have been giving away. Akash Fernando wins the penalty, but we go back for a side entry at the ruck from the Trinitians.
Number 1.
3 minutes remaining on our clock. Well, despite being 48-10 up, both of those boys don't seem very happy.
No, they're sitting in a chair. They don't want to be finishing the game on Abid. If you are substituted and being called to ask to come to the bench, that's something else. But when you are being forced to sit on the sideline and forced to watch the action, they'll really hope that their mates put in a big shift here and make sure that it doesn't cost Trinity. Royal with the opportunity though, 15 against 13. Can they get their second? Need to get the throw first.
Yadavara goes past the line out and to Altaf Aman. Here's Patirana. Throws a right pass to Nimsara Praveen, who catches it behind the gain line. So Royal will have to gain some yards here.
No hands. Play on.
Hamza Abdi not allowed to get to that ball. Player needed to roll away from Trinity. This time counter attack is very good. Counter ruck rather is very good. Mudun Kotua.
Advantage.
There's a penalty coming up for Royal.
Time off. Last play.
But it's the last play of the game, gents. 48-10. Important conversation coming up from our side as well. There's a Kamani scrum coming up for Royal. Who do we give it to? It's been a 15-man performance from Trinity and the bench has come on. There's been a 25-man performance. It's a bit of a difficult one.
Ready? Crouch.
Who do we go to? It's the last move, so...
Yellow card. Up. Ready? Crouch.
One last scrum. We'll come back to that conversation.
Bind.
One roll of the dice to Royal, for Royal to get a point on the board. One roll of the dice for Trinity to try and get a 50 on board. Will be successful.
Patirana can't get past the Innes tackle. Tackler needs to roll away from Trinity. No hands as well is the call. So another penalty advantage coming for Royal College. But it doesn't get, they won't get more opportunities. Trinity down 2 men. Royal getting penalties galore. Lianage wants to take this quickly. Seems like he needs to go with someone. Can't go alone. Lianage spreads it out to Kavanekanaika. Kavanekanaika in the corner for Royal College. Well, that try will only be consolation, but an Amana Bank try nonetheless. And 13-man Trinity can't hold Royal College as Royal get 15 points, 48-15, and much needed for Royal College.
Yeah, the numbers mismatch. Simple mathematics, isn't it? Hevage quickly bouncing up on the shorter side and recognizing that he has numbers. Long cut-out pass, difficult one to try and execute with the wet ball and the conditions. But Ekanayaka, this young lad, this small package, packs a punch. So he will be one of those key players for Royal against Trinity when it comes to the next two encounters. The conversion goes astray. The score will remain at 15 points to 48. And we need to chat about the Swiss Tech Perfect Player of the match as referee Callum Sandruan blows the long whistle.
48 points to 15. That's that year. Royal haven't allowed Trinity to score a second half century, but they have scored 15 points, which they will have to be happy with. But we have to talk about the Swiss Tech Perfect Player of the match, and for his timely interventions, the way he played at the breakdown, ever present, I think it has to be Nisit Kumarasinghe.
Yeah, fabulous plays from Trinity all across the park. Achinta Jayasena defensively was fabulous, I thought, and also Hamza making those timely interventions. Shan Altaf, as always, has been fabulous. Udan Vichekon controlling the game as well. Abdul Malik in that number 10 position has shown a lot of maturity, but I do agree with you. Nisit Kumarasinghe moving on to that front row as well and delivering that, getting Trinity that option of having that forwards utility player who plays like a third row as well. So I do agree with you. I'm going to go with Nisit Kumarasinghe as well.
48-15 is how it finishes at the end of 70 minutes. Royal College hold off Trinity from scoring a half century here at the Royal College Sports Complex. But this is just half of the tale between these two teams for this year. And the more important chapters of the tale are coming up in the latter part of the year, or next month rather. 11th of July they'll meet each other, but this half, Abdullah, Royal College came with a plan, dropped Patirana to the bench, well, a plan that didn't work.
Yes, well, I think they had too much to do coming into this second half, wasn't it? Just Trinity showing their class all round. Royal also just making a couple of pretty average errors and just turning possession over for Trinity, and the class that they have got just far too good. The finishing from these Trinitians have been top notch. Royal getting a couple of consolation tries at the end just to add a little bit of respectability, not much, just a little bit of respectability to the scoreline. But Trinity just showing the champion outfit that they are. Simak with that conversion, and then with the final play of the game, Trinity down to 13 players. Ekanayaka doing well to ward off a couple of defenders and have the final say for Royal, but at the end of the day, another comprehensive victory for the Trinitians as they keep their perfect record this season and continue their march along the way to retain the Dialog Schools Rugby League title for 2026.
Well, Royal College had to chase when it came to halftime, and they could not. 48 points to 15, 7 tries to Trinity College, 2 tries to Royal College, 5 conversions from Trinity College, 1 penalty for good measure as well from Shan Altaf. A very, very good performance from the Trinitians. Well, there's something, gents, that Royal had to do in this game, and that was chase the game. And Royal just couldn't do that as much as they couldn't chase their own kicks. Our Swiss Tech Perfect Player of the match for an absolutely stunning performance on the ground, Nisit Kumarasinghe from Trinity College, the co-vice captain. There's a lot to look forward to in the Dialog Schools Rugby League. This is just Saturday's action. Sunday packs a punch as well. Wesley College and Zahira College. Now that game up there is going to have the biggest bearing on this league. If Wesley manage to topple Zahira, Trinity, well, you could say that they are head and shoulders above the rest. But if Zahira College manage to topple Wesley at Havelock Park, we're in for an absolute thriller in week number 3 of the Super Round.
Yeah, absolutely, and Zahira Through have definitely been the giant killers of this league this season. And if they do get the better of Wesley, what an occasion that's going to be in Maradana the following week. In week 8 fixtures, as you can see, Wesley taking on Isipatan in that Cup Championship. It's going to be an interesting game, but you probably say Isipatan a slight favourites. Thurston St. Joseph's, a crucial game in that plate segment. You'd have to say that St. Joseph's probably going in at slight favourites, but not much. And of course, that other encounter, Zaira hosting Trinity. And if Zaira do manage to get the job done against the Westlights tomorrow, what occasion that's going to be. Royal will take on St. Peter's here at the Royal College Sports Complex on the 20th as well. And both teams will probably be playing for a bit of pride on that occasion. St. Thomas's versus Sri Sumangala in the Play Championship. Ananda versus St. Anthony's. Kingswood taking on DS Senanayaka. Science versus Mahanama. And Prince of Wales finishing next week's proceedings, taking on newcomers Lumbini.
Well, the Dialog Schools Rugby League is getting to its business end, and when the game heats up, so do you. Rexona Sport Defense, specially designed for high-performance men fighting body odor while staying safe on skin. So whatever happens in this match, in a moment that makes you sweat, Rexona won't ever let you down. What a win for the Trinitians here at the Royal College Sports Complex, and they'll travel down to Colombo for another 3 weeks on the trot. And can they keep their unblemished record? Only time will tell. That's that here from the complex, from myself, Abid Jamil, and my co-commentators Abdullah Yusuf and Sudarshana Piris. We sign off on behalf of the Papare production and technical crew.
Refreshment the train nekat go.
Night Go Pocket Perfume. You take it go ekak.
For passion, a competitive spirit is for the night owls, the hard workers. It's for those who do and want to keep doing. Right, real energy.
උස්වත්තු පවුලින් හඳුන්වා දෙන රසයක් බැයිය චර්පි චිප්ස් රිදෙන්නේ දැනෙන රස.
Higher inverter air conditioner. Be chilled in any heat moment. fire inverter refrigerators. What a spectacular catch!
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Yes, too fresh.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
එතකොට මහත්තයාරුනේ ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් ග්‍රවුට් වෝටර්ප්‍රූෆින් ස්කිම් කොට් නේ.
ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් නැද්ද මුදලාලි අතන කඩේ 140ක් දෙන්නම් කිව්වා.
බෑග් වල බොරු ගණන් ගහලා පස්සේ ලොකු ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙන දේවල් මාගාව නෑ මහත්තයා.
ඔබේ නිවසේ පරිපූර්ණ නිමාවකට දවටනේ නියම මිල සඳහන් ස්විස්ටෙක් නිෂ්පාදන මිලදී ගන්න. ස්විස්ටෙක් ගන්න ඕනේ හොඳම තීරණය.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotumi. Fun Tamari.
Introducing new Air Action Mentos, the peak of freshness. Mentos, yes, too fresh.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Perfectly ස්විස්ටෙක් ඇලුමිනියම්. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Built to withstand every season. Modern designs, elegant finishes, made to match your style. Alumex handrails.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
When the world says no access,
Or this is not for you.
And it can't be done. Just say, I can.
Pure, naturally healthy American water. Live more.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
ලීසින් එක ගත්ත වේගෙන්ම හවසින් ලෝන් එක ගන්න. ළඟම LB ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට එන්න.
සීන විමන් මවනා ඔබටයි.
වාජ්‍ය සේවක ඔබට විශේෂී දීමනාවක් ඕනෑම ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකක් මාස 12න් ටික ගෙවන්න ගන්න. අවම මූලික ගෙවීම රුපියල් 6550 සිට ඔබ ළඟම බාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Introducing the 2025 TVS Apache RTR 204V.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Introducing Elephant House Wonder Bar Gold. Crack your wonder.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Win moment special. Most value for money from KFC.
නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. නව රෙක්සෝනා ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ඩිෆෙන්ස් 72 hours order protection සමගින් පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි.
Perfectly Swiss Tech Aluminium නඩත්තු වියදම් නැති ජාත්‍යන්තර සහතික සමග වසර 30ක් දක්වා වගකීමක් ඇති Swiss Tech Aluminium. ඔබත් කොටේෂන් එකක් අරගෙන බලන්න.
Park Avenue. Long-lasting fragrance. Unshakable confidence.
Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotimi. Fun Tamari. Love Rugby.
Live Rugby.
Prima Kotimi. Fun Tamari.
අවුව නිසා බොඩි එක කූල් නැත්තම් මයින්ඩ් එකත් කූල් නැහැ. ඒකට තමයි ඩෙටෝල් අයිසි කූල්.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකික ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast on ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.